Hello, and welcome to Witchy Woman Podcast. I am your host, DaNae Sweet, and this is episode 138. Today, I'm going to kind of talk about how I travel as a witch and how that plays into how I pack, how I go about my day when we're out and about. My husband and I went on a little trip to get some tattoos that we booked clear in fall of 2021. Our tattoo artist is like hella booked far ahead. So we went to do that, and we kind of extended our stay and did some things, and we had some shenanigans happen, and I wanted to kind of share all of that with you guys. But first, let's do some smoke cleansing and card pull. Okay, I have wore out the sides of my, striker thingy on my matchbox, so we're getting the torch, right? So let's do the torch. And I'm almost, no, I'm not out of, I have plenty of butane. It just takes a minute to, get this torch go. Come on, torch. Do your motherfucking job. No? Yeah? Oh! Come on. Here we go. Hear the crackle. Alright. That was a really long, extended, start the shit on fire thing. Anyway. Cleansing my mic, my computer, everything that's around me. One thing I don't cleanse is my cards, because I don't want all the magic, all the intuitiveness, all the goodness cleansed from them. If I cleanse them or put any smoke on them, it's going to be, excuse me, I just ate lunch. It's going to be like mugwort or something intuitive, intuitive type herb. And today, of course, I'm using rosemary. I'm going to pull from, I haven't decided. I got these two decks, the Illustrated Herbiary and the Illustrated Bestiary by Maya Toll, illustrated by Kate O'Hara. I'm not really sure. I should have decided this before I hit record. But I think we're going to go... I want the animals. Let's do animals. Okay. Hang on. Damn it. These are so beautiful. And I am enjoying them so much so far. Just, really loving them. Okay. Come out of the box. They don't want to come out of the box. Okay. So here we go. And yes, I shuffle mine like I'm playing poker. It annoys some people, but I don't care. It's my deck, not yours. That sounded like I said my dick, but I did not. Okay. Okay, let's go ahead and cut 3 times. Cut once, twice, thrice. Okay, what do we got for this week? Ooh, I like this one. So it is this beautiful picture of a barn owl. She has her wings spread. She has a scroll in her claws with some candles beneath her. This beautiful radiating, these lines that to me represent some light and some smoke around her, with this, above her, there's this heart, an anatomical heart behind some, open doors. Anyway, it says, listen for spirit. So I'm taking this as I need to listen, and we all need to listen for spirit this week. Listen for your inner guidance. So if you don't believe in spirit or your spirit guides or a deity, then this is your sign to listen to your inner guidance, your higher self, your gut. What is it telling you that's going to link the inner wisdom to your emotional feelings? Okay. Sometimes it's really hard. I talked about this, I think, within one of the Coven group, the Coven group or the the Witchy Woman Friends group. I cannot remember, but sometimes it's really hard to link what we know and what we feel. And I think Spirit is trying to help us link that together and to understand the necessity of both things, what we think and what we feel, and how we can integrate those and use those in our life for guidance. So listen for those things, those signs. What is the sign for you? Are you a super visual person? Do you pick up visual cues really easily? Then look for those cues that make you interested. Those are the things that are signs for you. Are you like very, very into owls? Then look, if you see owls everywhere, that's Spirit going, hey, listen, I got something to say to you. If your thing is pennies, then pennies is it. You know, if you see pennies on the ground, whatever that, if visual things is yours, then if auditory, if you're really, really got sensitive ears, if sounds really are your thing, then listen to music. What comes up on the radio or Pandora, God, I just aged myself. Whatever you listen to, Spotify, whatever it is. What music comes up that's really makes you go, oh, okay, that hit a nerve. Well, why did it hit a nerve? Is that maybe a message from Spirit to you? So just pay attention this week to what you may be experiencing as messages. I feel like this is going to be very important into this Mercury retrograde to help you navigate what's going on. Okay, so so let's get, first of all, tattoos. That's the first thing we did. No. Let's go back. So I want to talk about how I prepare for a trip. So I am going to always bring a veil nowadays. I like to veil. It's my like go-to way to, protect myself energetically. And lately I've been feeling very, very easily overwhelmed by energy, auditory. I'm very easily overwhelmed with auditory stimulation. And I don't know why. It's just a very thin piece of fabric. But if I put that veil over my head and over my ears, it just feels better, like mundane reasons too. So first thing I did before I packed all my shit was to grab a few veils that I liked and I cleansed them. So for me, that's like mundane cleansing because I wear them a lot. So I actually soak them in a just sink full of water, cold water, because I don't know if some of the dyes might like leak onto each other, and they haven't so far if I just use cold. So I actually use cold water with a little baking soda. And then I use just a tiny bit of a mixture that I make specifically for my veils to cleanse them energetically as well. So the mixture I put in a little tiny like cup. It's some baking soda, some essential oils, very few essential oils. I love to use a little bit of rosemary, white willow bark, and what else did I put in there this time? Oh, I put a little mugwort just to keep my my intuition heightened. And I also used a few different other, I'm just going to say items that I put in there to help protect myself energetically. I'm not going to give away all my secrets. So anyway, I let that soak in there for about an hour while I do other shit. And then I take them out. I rinse them in cold water until I feel like, all the shit is cleaned out the best I could. I wring them out and I hang them out to dry. It's too cold to hang them outside, so I just hang them in my bathroom. I just like flip them over the top of the shower thingy and they dry there while I do my other stuff. So I actually did that the day before we left. And I was washing all my other clothes and things that I knew I wanted to bring. I knew that I've just been in a weird place, like mentally and spiritually. So I wanted to make sure that I was doing all the things I could to make sure that my trip could be fun for me. And I wasn't just constantly floundering because I was overwhelmed. So when I did my laundry, I actually kind of did the same thing. Within the laundry, like my washer, I actually put a little bit of some of the same ingredients that I used in my veil wash into the laundry, or into my washer, so that my clothes actually had a little bit of spiritual cleaning as well, and a little bit of fortifying, so that when I wear them, I feel like they've been cleansed and basically blessed to help me protect myself while I'm out and about, because I am home alone most of the time. Oh my gosh, this sounds like something that will bite me in the ass in a crime documentary. All you crime people, if I get murdered, please find this episode and reference it, because I just let everybody know that most of the time I'm here home alone. I do have big scary dogs and a giant, I have weapons, bitches. So, there's that. Anyway, I'm dumb. So, I did that, and I washed all my clothes. I did all that so that they're fortified. They're all good to go. So, I have my veil cleaned and washed and blessed. My clothes that I'm taking, and then I actually, because you don't think about, actually, you probably do, but I didn't think about my suitcase being gross. So I actually kind of cleaned that out, like mundanely. Like I disinfected my suitcase, and then I smoke cleansed it with some rosemary, because it's been everywhere, right? It's gross. So I smoke cleansed it after I was done actually cleaning it. And honestly, I just used a little bit of, I have this like disinfectant spray that's also like has like rosemary and some lavender, I think, in it. I can't remember what brand it is, but it's a disinfectant. It kills 99% germs, blah, blah, blah. Anyway, so I went ahead and started cleaning that, and then smoke cleansed that. I did the same with my makeup bag. That's where I put all like my toiletries, my makeup, my medicine. I did the same with that and smoke cleansed it, because I just hadn't thought of that, and I was kind of in that mindset, and I was like, shit, it's probably like full of gross energy as well as germs, because, I don't know. But I think now that we are in like into year three of our worldwide panini panorama thing, now I think about like what has the most germs on it. And I just think my suitcases probably are disgusting. So honestly, I think I need new ones, but this will do for now. And I also have I have like a little Tupperware like thing that I fill with my witchy stuff. So just in case I need it, I have it. And we go up to South Dakota to different towns, and honestly, a lot of those towns are haunted as fuck. So I end up using these little kits quite often. So I've come into the habit of bringing some kind of clearing spray. So I'll bring that. I bring some like protection stones and like crystals. So I'll usually pick a crystal for me and one for Brad to put in our pillows, so that when we sleep, like we've got a little extra protection. So I'll clear the room, cleanse the room with the cleansing spray. I'll put those in our pillows. I also bring 4 crystals to grid and protect. Like I anoint those crystals with some of my witch's shield oil. It's just a protection oil that I make. I will do that, put the crystals in the 4 corners of the room that we're in. So that is also like, those are so I've cleansed. I've pushed everything out. I have then protected. I have kept things out. And then I also will put in a little clearing candle or a protection candle, both in there. Sometimes I leave the protection one out and I'll just do clearing. I don't know. And then I carry black salt, some witch's salt in there. You know what? Because you never know. Sometimes I bring more shit. Sometimes I bring less stuff. I also will do a travel protection spell bag. Every time I go somewhere, I try to renew it. So if I'm going to go on another trip very far, I'll make a whole new one. And this time I put our hair in it. I noticed that Brad trimmed his beard and if you know, you know. If a man trims their beard and quote unquote cleans up, there's always fucking hair. So I went in there and grabbed some of the hair he left behind. So graciously left behind for me. And then I just cut a little bit of my dead hair ends off and shoved them in the bag with some protective stones, some herbs. I have a few like talisman type things. Not talisman, amulets. I have a few amulets that I put in there, one for Brad and one for me, to keep shit away from us. And then, because amulet, let it go. So you're pushing things away. I want to push bad shit away. And then I have talismans for good luck, safe travels. So I have a few talismans in there. So one for me, one for Brad. And that went in the car. I usually just put it in the console. You can also, if you don't want to do that, you can also, like, because my truck is super dirty, because it's wintertime, and there's salt all over the roads, and we also, like, drive in the mud and stuff, so my car vehicles are constantly got shit on them. So I will, like, draw sigils, or maybe draw, like, a protective symbol of some sort on the tires, just because I'm paranoid about, like, popping a tire or something. So I will draw those on the tires before we leave, or on the vehicle itself. I also, I don't know if it's this way every rural or, like, countrified area, but deer are super careful in the wild unless they get around a road. And they're like, sweet, let's just jump across the road. Fuck it. And so a lot of deer are hit on our highways, and they cause huge wrecks. And I'm terrified of hitting a deer. One, because I would, like, die inside if we hit a deer. And also, I don't want to wreck. That terrifies me. So I will do a little protection spell for the deer. And I will put that in our console, too, just to keep the deer. I know it sounds silly, but I want to, like, warn them that we're coming and to stay off the highway. So I do a little deer protection spell bag and carry it with us. And I, like, imagine that our vehicle, like, has, like, a radar that, like, pings out and just lets them know, hey, we're here, don't cross the highway, please stay away from the road. Bros. I involve a deity that's connected with deer very deeply to help carry out that spell. So if you work with any deities that are connected with deer, it's so far, it's been, when I remember, so far it's been a really, good, practice so far. What else do I do? So of course there's jewelry. I wear protective jewelry, and very specific jewelry when I go out and about. I have one piece of jewelry that my husband gave me that is very special, and that's not my wedding ring. That's also special. But this is a different piece of jewelry that I wear to not only empower myself, but to help filter out shat energy. So that is with me pretty much all the time. So technically, it's both a talisman and an amulet because it's bringing me power. But it's also keeping the shat away from me. So it's an amulet. A tamulet. I think I made a new thing. It's a tamulet. Anyway, so I have that. I have a few rings. I love wearing smoky quartz to keep shitty energy away, to help filter the bad. And I just fucking love smoky quartz. I love labradorite, so I will wear quite a bit of that. And also I wear, because I tend to get fatigued pretty easy when I'm out and about, so I will wear carnelian and citrine in the form of bracelets or rings, either one, while I'm out as well. I tend to get really tired of communicating. I will want to shut down and disassociate. So I will wear, I have a citrine pinky ring that I will wear because the pinky is my Mercury finger, and I will wear that on that finger just so I can help maybe keep my communicative energies up until we can get to our hotel room and I can completely, unplug. can maybe plug in. I can recharge and rest and recuperate a little bit. But if you look up like what each finger means and then plan your jewelry accordingly, it's really cool to kind of look at that. And I highly recommend it. I never really thought about it until, man, has it been 2 years already that I got my first palm reading from Calum Turner of Fortune by Calum, and he was talking about each finger and what it means and the lines on my hands, and we started talking about all that, and I'm like, oh shit, really? So it got me thinking about what rings I wear on my fingers, and how I could strategically place them for different purposes on certain days or for spell work or whatever it is. And it's become very useful in my practice. So I highly recommend looking that shit up. Like, Google it. I could spoon feed it to you right now, but I'm tired and I don't want to. So Google it. Okay, I gotta tell you, first of all, we leave on our trip. We're all packed up. We're good to go. I'm like, fuck yeah. I've got all my witchy shit. I got my witchy jewelry on. I've got some new earrings that a friend gave me that are fucking fantastic. They're so cool. They're snakes and I love them. So I'm amazing. We're excited. I'm a little sad because I have to leave my dogs. They're with Maddie. So I know they're being taken care of, but I'm kind of sad and I cry for a good 20 minutes. After I'm done crying, I'm like thinking about what I brought with me, and I realized I left my garment bag. I have my suitcase, but I forgot my garment bag, which I also forgot to cleanse, but I digress. I forgot my garment bag, which has every one of my bottoms. So I have all of my sweaters, my shirts, my socks, underwear, bras. I have all of the things that go on my torso, and my underwear and my socks. But I have no skirts or pants, nothing. I'm like, fuckity fuck. Brad's like, we're not turning around. And I'm like, that's fine. There is a Goodwill in the new town, like in the town next to us. So it's like 60 miles to the next town from our house. And I'm like, there's a new Goodwill. And it's a happy accident because now I can get new skirts. Because I love big flowy random skirts from Goodwill. So I'm like, cool. So we stop there, and that's the first, like, I'm like, okay, I'm getting happy now. I'm not as sad about leaving Pablo. So I go in and I pick out, I think I ended up getting like 4 skirts for like freaking $10. Like, amazing deal. Anyway, super cute. Love it. So now I have skirts to wear, and it's wintertime, and I know you said, they're like, why the fuck would you wear skirts in the wintertime, DaNae? In South Dakota and Nebraska. That's dumb. Oh. I have winter fleece leggings that I wear underneath my skirts with like big chonky socks and my combat boots because that's what's comfortable. So anyway, we do that. Awesome. I've got my skirts. Woohoo. We get to Rapid City, South Dakota is where we went. We get our tattoos. Fucking hurt so bad. The plan was, so remember when I let you guys pick my tattoo and I ended up getting some like ivy, like a vine on my thumb. So I ended up expanding on that, and I ended up getting more ivy and then fern for my horses, ivy and fern. And then I got a unicorn skull. It looks so badass. She's got like a big black horn, and it's really beautiful. It's like on the top of my hand, and it goes over my knuckles just a little bit. Oh my God. Holy shit, it hurt. Took about close to 3 hours to do. Totally worth it though, because it's healing really nice and it looks badass. Okay, so we get done with that. Actually, that next morning, Brad's like, we should eat somewhere really cool. Awesome. So we do. We drive by this almost every time we go to South Dakota and when we go to Rapid City. There is a like coffee shop, like / breakfast place called the Mud Hole. Yep. The Mud Hole. Let your brain get as dirty as you want with that. The Mud Hole. Just I'm going to give you a moment. Mud hole, mud hole, mud hole. Just do it. Okay. Yep, you went there. So that's always what I think of when I see that. And like, I'm like, we have to eat there. We have to eat there. We always make fun of it. And now we have to eat there. So I have a picture of me. I'm like, take a picture of me. Keep in mind, I'm going to post these. Keep in mind, the wind on that day was blowing like super hard. Actually, yeah, this would have been Friday. Blowing super, super hard. And I digress. I think that was the morning of our tattoo. Anyway, so hard. My hair is going everywhere. He takes a picture of me in front of the mud hole. Super cute. I'm like, oh, that's funny. But I look at myself. And this is why I'm talking about what I was wearing. I'm like, oh my God, Brad, because he shows me this. He shows me the picture. By the way, amazing place to eat. If you're in Rapid City, go to the mud hole. Best breakfast. Fucking amazing. Anyway. I look at my picture and I'm like, oh my God, Brad, look at what I'm wearing and think about Home Alone 2 and the Pigeon lady. And he's like, oh, dude, it is you. So we had to go to the park where they have like a fuckload of geese right now and take my picture so that I could have like my bird picture next to Pigeon Lady's picture. And I will post that. That's going in the groups. You can make fun of it. That's just my aesthetic. Like, I am the Pigeon Lady. Just, that's my aesthetic. I love wearing big, chunky sweaters with my veil and a scarf and my coat and, like, my flowy skirts and tights and chunky, like, socks. I even wore, like, socks with, like, the rings on the top. Like, they look like they're supposed to be athletic socks, but they're just chunky, big, slouchy. And my combat boots. That's just to what I look like now, I guess. That's my final form. So anyway, I got some pictures of that so you guys can see what I looked like. Oh my God. I looked at it and I'm like, what the fuck? So anyway, you can totally laugh at my expense because I laughed and it's funny. I just wear what's comfortable now and that's what's comfortable. Right now I'm wearing like those really thin pull on like faux. They look like they're not jeans. They're like denim looking but they are almost like flowy. They're flowy like hippie pants. I don't know. They're like 6 sizes too big and I've got a sweater with a t-shirt and my Hey Dudes on cause I don't know. That's just that. My t-shirt says keep your religion out of my uterus. That's just my vibe lately. Yeah. So anyway, the next awesome thing. So it wasn't awesome, but I have to share because this has just been I think this is my I don't give a fuck villain year or something. So on Saturday night, there were new people in the room next to us. So we get we get to our room and we go to bed at like, I don't know, 9:30 or something like that because we're fucking old. I want to go to sleep. So we're laying there. Brad goes to sleep immediately because he has like sleeping superpowers. And I take my sleeping pills and I'm laying there and I finally get to sleep after like 2 hours trying to sleep because the room next to us is very loud. Like there's a bunch of girls in there that sound like they're in a sorority. They're loud, loud, loud. You can tell they're drunk as fuck. Anyway, I'm like, whatever. It's a Saturday night, whatever. It was like 10:30, 11, something like that when I went to sleep. So I get to sleep. I wake up at 1:25 and they're loud. They're like banging on their walls. I don't know what they're doing in there. It sounds like they're, Bob the Builder is in there doing some construction and maybe some cheerleaders are in there. I don't know, but I had it. So I called the office. I'm like, bro, this room, no. Like, I can't get back to sleep. So they must have called them. I'm sure they called them. They said they would. But anyway, I laid there and they still, like, after 15 minutes, they still hadn't shut the fuck up. And after I had gotten off the phone, I took a half of my sleeping pill thinking, I'm going to have to take another half in order for me to get back to sleep. And these are pretty quick acting. So I'm laying there and I'm like, cannot fucking fall asleep. And I'm mad. I'm so mad. I'm old lady Karen fucking mad at this point. And I don't want to confront them because there's like 16 of these 16-year-old acting kids, ladies in there. And I am an old lady Karen, and I know I'll end up on TikTok as this Karen yelling at them. So I don't want to do that. I'm starting to kind of like fade. And in my like stupor, I remember making a rhyme, like an incantation to give them all jock itch and yeast infections. Yeah, that's how low I went. I became petty witch. Just petty witch. Hopefully, that worked because I was so fucking mad, but I don't even remember the end of the incantation much because I think I fell asleep. So there's that. So yeah, I did something bad. It would not surprise me if I get jock itch and yeast infection because I'm not really sure all of what I had said. I know the gist and the few lines that really defined what I wanted to happen to them. So hopefully I don't get any of that because that would be kind of scary to have jock itch because I'm a girl and I've never had that and I don't want to experience it, and yeast infections suck. So that will be a lesson for me, and I will totally own up to it and let you guys know if that's what happens to me. But yeah, so Rapid City and the Alex Johnson, Abby, happy birthday. I think it was her 21st. You really pissed me off, all of your friends. If you end up getting jock itch and yeast infections, please let me know because I want to know if that worked. And also not sorry. So there's that. So this episode's going to be a little bit shorter. I was going to say smaller. This episode's going to be a little smaller. Fuck, I am tired. I don't know about y'all, but this full moon that happened didn't empower or power me up or charge me up. I'm dragging ass. I feel like last night, like somebody plugged into me and sucked me dry of all of the life force that I was clinging desperately onto that 2020 and 2021 took from me. So there's that. So anyway, I'm very tired. So this is going to be a shorter episode. I will have an interview happening next week. I think you will love it. I'm very excited. I will leak a little bit of the details. Probably, today's Tuesday. I'll probably leak a little bit of that probably on Friday or over the weekend maybe, so you can see a little bit of who is doing that. Also, I added some links in the services part of my website so that if you want to come on the website, because I've been getting a lot of inquiries about coming on the website. So on the podcast. So if you want to come on the podcast, if you want me to interview you, there's a link. So now you can book yourself on the podcast. You click the link, you book your time and your day, and then I will look at it and I can approve it. And then also, if you want to book me on your podcast or for an article or your blog, your vlog, whatever it is, you can also book me as well. So if you go to services, just scroll down and it's there. So, there's stuff to look at. If you haven't went to the new website, it is completely redone from what it was last year. Go to witchywomanpodcast.com. I'm also closing out my AdvertiseCast account. It's a pain in the ass. I'm so busy. I don't want to do ads like that anymore. If I find a product or I'm approached by somebody like small businesses, if you're a small business and you want to do advertising with me, contact me directly. I feel like I want to support the small businesses and not these larger creators or larger businesses that have access to the kind of advertising marketing money that sometimes goes through the AdvertiseCast website. So, yeah. So there's that. I just feel like that's a little bit easier for me, and it would benefit the small business owner instead of like big business. So yeah, stick it to the man. This is kind of this year. I don't know. I just feel different this year. I feel like I just feel different. I feel like fuck repercussions. I don't care. Burn it all down as far as I'm concerned. That's right. Yeah. I'm just rambling now, so I better stop. If you want to join our coven, because that's a question I've been getting a lot of my DMs, go to Witchy Woman Podcast. Click on Join the Coven. If you go to the main page and just scroll all the way down, you'll see some smoke and a link that says Join the Coven. Join the coven there. What else was I being asked? I have been getting a lot of questions in my DMs about love spells. Just don't. I'm not going to answer them anymore. Okay? Love spells are not something that I'm going to do. If you have a relationship problem, magic isn't going to fix it. You need to talk to your partner, go to couples therapy, do something in the mundane. If you're going to do any spell, do a love spell on yourself for self-love. Go to a therapist, but I'm not answering those DMs anymore. I'm just going to ignore them. It takes up quite a bit of my day to explain why I don't answer those. When I answer them and I'm like, hey, thank you for contacting me, but I don't blah, blah, blah. And then it becomes this huge conversation about why and sometimes an argument, and I'm not doing it anymore. I'm disengaging. So, if you have questions about love spells, I ain't your gal, okay? If you have questions about anything else, then, not anything else, something in my wheelhouse, then go ahead and contact me. That's fine. So anyway, I will talk to you guys next week with a beautiful new interview. That's all I got. So until next time, stay witchy. Bye.